Welcome, bienvenue, willkommen y bienvenidos a la tercera temporada de Párate y Destacate. Yo soy tu anfitriona, Nikki Green. Welcome back to Season 3 of Stand Up and Stand Out. I'm your host, Nikki Green, and we are kicking off an amazing new season filled with some incredible guests. Stand Up and Stand Out is a podcast for those leaving university and heading into the work world. We help those in transition find their purpose so they can enjoy their career without sacrificing their lives. Following nearly 2 decades working in Fortune 500 companies, I want to share my leadership learnings with all of you. Thought leaders are needed in all walks of life, not just business. And we're in a critical time to pivot ourselves and the community around us to build a better future together. This show is the start of your Beyond College journey to help you answer the question, I graduated, now what? Let's get ready to listen in to the next episode. Well, welcome everybody to Stand Up and Stand Out. Today we have the amazing Adrienne Tichy here, known around town as champions for the marginalized. Jim and Adrienne Tichy have a heart for those affected by substance and process addictions. Together, they have built a recovery residence community in Delray Beach, Florida. Addiction, alcoholism, and overdoses are up to 40% since the start of the pandemic. Now, Jim and Adrienne are speaking out for the first time about the impact of addiction on our communities. Fantastic. Welcome, Adrienne.
Good to be here, Nikki. Glad to be on your stage.
Welcome. Well, and we're having fun today. We're doing this as a part of Podapalooza. We're rolling with the punches. It's a fun day where you're probably going to get interviewed all day long. And hopefully people will ask you slightly different questions.
Well, or we can just record my answers and just use them throughout the whole rest of the afternoon.
It'll be fantastic. We'll learn as we go. So we work a lot with people that are in different kinds of transition, mostly people that are coming out of university and going into the workforce. And I think your topic is very relevant for them because I know many of them come out with all sorts of different addictions, either binge drinking as a part of college parties or, doing substances that are going to help them stay awake longer than they should be, to be able to study for exams. So I think this is really relevant. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your guys' origin story and what you guys do?
Sure. So I met my husband in church in 2006. And we became fast friends because in the Episcopal Church, most everybody has gray hair. And we didn't. So the three of us without the gray hair kind of congregated together. And we found out our birthdays were all on the 13th of different months. So we formed fast friends. And they were both in recovery from addiction and alcoholism. And I had some limited exposure back in 98 or so. My brother went to a treatment center, but I really had no idea that the city that I lived in, Delray Beach, Florida, a population of only 68,000, has about 20 to 25% of the people in recovery.
Wow.
So it's quite a lot. And we really have opened our homes. We started with one house, which was a men's house, because we wanted to raise the bar on the recovery residences in Delray Beach. It is quite a shady industry, and we are committed to bringing morals and ethics and values to the people that treat these marginalized or people that have struggled with some kind of substance use disorder. Now we have 7 houses.
It's really, really tough. And I know what you guys are doing is such an important thing.
And especially for, like you mentioned, for college kids, I do know we are going to try to start speaking to colleges and universities because actually in town here at FAU, they have a couple of dorms that are sobriety dorms because it is so prevalent, even younger and younger ages, unfortunately. But, it just adds to the trepidation, I think, that college kids have about going into the real world, right? The responsibility. We find that people lack basic living skills.
Yeah. Well, and they thought, if they were struggling that way through college, which is a semi-protected environment, when you go into the work world, it's a whole free for all, right? And that could be a very slippery slope for many of them as they struggle to now start paying bills and doing all those adulting type
All those
things.
adulting type of things, right? And
Yeah.
also they're going into industries like maybe advertising, let's say, or entertainment, anything where people will be congregated and then they have to worry about how they don't drink. And it's the strangest thing. If you don't drink, like I don't drink for health reasons, but you're always like the odd person out at a party. Or you become the designated driver, right?
Right. And then that's no fun. And it's not as interesting to talk to drunk people as you think when you're sober. So it's really,
No, it's really not. The things you used to find funny just really quite aren't anymore, and that's also part of growing up too. But what we realized about particularly children getting ready to enter the workforce after they've completed their college years, parents they don't have the tools necessary to really warn their children about the dangers of alcohol or drugs, especially on a developing brain.
yeah, exactly. Well, and you start getting into work, and I know I even wrote about this in my book. Is I at the beginning didn't drink for health reasons all throughout college, and then I started going to work, and there was this peer pressure. You need to go to happy hours, you need to socialize and network, and all of a sudden you're put into a different situation where this is kind of my livelihood now. It's not just school where I'm trying to blow off some steam, but actually there's a pressure like from your boss and from your coworkers. And if that's not a good scene for you, or you already had problems in the past, how do you transition back? So that's really amazing.
And that's one of the things we teach people is to have something at the ready to answer why don't you drink? Because some people don't want to disclose they're alcoholic, like you just mentioned. There's plenty now of people that aren't drinking for health reasons. So if you're worried about sugar in your diet, really, that's one of the main ways you get sugar into your body is alcohol.
Right. And then that leads to all sorts of other health problems, diabetes and other things, right? So, and then what have you explored career-wise? Like, obviously, this is an amazing story of how you guys got to this place, but I also like to showcase how people evolve like over their careers and sort of what you originally studied to get to here now, because careers aren't what they used to be, right?
So they aren't. That's interesting you mentioned that because I come from a family where my dad worked for TWA for 37 years before he retired. And that just we don't have that where employees aren't beholden to their employees and employees aren't beholden to their employer anymore. There's no reciprocal agreement anymore, So what my background is in communications. But I was also a restaurant corporate trainer after my college years, and I trained the staff. I trained the managers on a new computer system. So I've always been, and I've taken training for the trainers. I'm able to train people on how to train people.
I love it.
And that's really what differentiates us. Is I had a very multidisciplinary background, right? I started in communications, but then at 23, I was playing co-ed softball and I got taken out by the runner. So that led to me being in hospitals for pretty much the better part of the last 27 years.
Ouch.
So it's just overcoming adversity, right, of any kind, but it makes me bring a different perspective to the addiction because you can be a victim, right? That I'm sure you struggle with that too, with your clients, the victim mentality. And we know that our young people have trouble even going into a job and asking for an application, much less looking an interviewer in the eyes.
Right. That whole social experience becomes overwhelming and you just start shrinking back into yourself and you stay in the house. And it's been even easier to shrink back into the house and forget how to be social. That anxiety has almost tripled, doubled, in the last year because it's not the original thing that was holding you in. Now there's layers of COVID and, everything else on top of it. Right.
My youngest nephew is about ready to graduate and he is petrified.
Yeah.
He's so shy. And like you said, if the social anxiety didn't get you before, if you were a person that just generally, anybody's nervous walking into the boss's office, right? I mean, at the principal's office. But if you don't know and really have a good command of what to say and to look them in the eye, again, I'll say that's what we notice the most with our young children. 23 years old is the average coming out of treatment, and they just don't have living skills.
Yeah, that's really scary. And I think the working from home, I know everyone's advocating so much that, oh, it's great. Let me just work from home and I'll be on video all day or turn off the video and just be on audio. But I think that the forced socialization going into the office is good for young people. It's the best way for you to network and actually get to know people, because you get on a meeting like this and it's like, here's your task, go do this, get off the meeting, and it's always very like task oriented instead of building that relationship, like go grab a cup of coffee, have lunch together, right? Like find other ways to get to know them, especially on a smaller scale when you're an introverted person where, you can be one-on-one with someone rather than quite be so overwhelmed with like major meetings and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so impressed with the work that you're doing too. It's like I said, we see the kids that have been in the principal's office for their whole life mostly, but it also goes with the rest of society too.
yep,
So
absolutely.
it's certainly a needed thing that I think more than ever that our kids that are going to be taking care of us when we're old, right, need some support. So I'm so impressed with the work you're doing.
Oh, thank you. That's fantastic. Well, believe it or not, our time is up, but why don't you share a little bit more about how they can find you, how to reach you, if people are located. I used to live in Miami, so I still have lots of friends and family down in the Florida area, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to reach out and share your message too.
Sure. So if people want to get in contact with us, they can go to our website, which is www.thelodgedelray, that's THELODGEDELRAY.com. And all of our contact information is there. The phone number that you find on there is my husband and I, and we'll answer it pretty much any hour of the day. So anybody is welcome to contact us, and I look forward to helping you all.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad to have met you today. This has been really a pleasure. And I know so many people need this help. So thank you for the great work that you guys do. And I'm happy that we can help share the message.
Thanks, Nikki.
Liquidless laundry detergent? As you know, plastic is a huge problem. Only 9% get recycled. Even if you put your jug in a bin, 25% gets declined from cross-contamination. If plastic does get recycled, it can only be reused twice. The facts don't lie. It's time to stop using plastic. Did you know that liquid detergent is up to 90% water? Earthbreeze created dehydrated detergent. Our Eco Sheets easily dissolve in hot or cold water with the same powerful clean you're used to. Our packaging is biodegradable cardboard and ink. Eco-friendly options are usually expensive. Eco Sheets are affordable. That way, everyone can make a difference. Laundry detergent is one of the most requested items at homeless shelters. With every package, we donate 10 loads of detergent. You get to choose who you donate to. We also donate a portion of our revenue to the planet. There is no reason not to switch. Subscribe and receive it exactly when you need it. No contracts, cancel anytime. We even offset all of our carbon emissions. This means your deliveries are carbon neutral. You can stay safe and order right from your home. Eco Sheets are vegan and cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, and a fragrance-free option, and sensitive to the most delicate skin. There are already thousands of 5-star reviews, and we offer a satisfaction guarantee. If you have any issues, we will refund you. So why not give Eco Sheets a try? Click below or visit earthbreeze.com.
What are you waiting for? Why haven't you ordered?
Click below to try.
That was a powerful episode, and I appreciate the work that Adrienne and Jim are doing to support people in their community. They are helping people that need this, especially right now. And if you are in need of help and fortunate enough to be in the South Florida area, you should look up the lodge at Delray Beach. I'm sure there are other similar facilities in your area. If you have experience with a place that has helped you, don't forget to share in the comments so we can continue to pay it forward to provide others love and support that they may need during these difficult times. In episode 21, I talked about the struggles I was having as 2022 began and the lack of help I got from our overtaxed healthcare system. Instead, I started to explore a bit of new technology that could help until we can get back to seeing people again. I found an online article from Prevention Magazine. We'll put the link to it in our show notes, but it was the 20 best mental health apps. I've been hearing a lot about these mental health apps, and I thought maybe this is a good way to bridge during this time. give ourselves a tool we can use at home. Lots of great apps in there. I've selected one that I'm trying. I'll tell you a little bit about it. But it's a great article because it talks about the differences between the apps and that they're not all created the same. Maybe you are experiencing a specific type of issue like addiction, like we talked about in this episode. Maybe you have some other type of eating disorder, PTSD, or maybe you've experienced sexual violence. Any kind of specific issues, there are specific apps to help at least get those initial stages of getting you onto a road to recovery. There are also wonderful ones that simply build habits, they help you with meditation, and even family-based ones that you can use with your kids, or ones that are really social that allow you to connect with others who might be having similar issues to you and to be able to share your story. So the one I tried, it's called Headspace. There are costs for a lot of these apps, so take a look. Some of them will give you a trial, so at least you can check it out before you do it. Headspace seems to be focused more on anxiety, which is usually my common issue. I've been trying it every day for the past 2 weeks, and personally, I feel like it's helping. Aside from the daily rhythm of morning, afternoon, and evening meditations and focus time, it also has extras you can use. For me, I fall asleep no problem, but I often wake up and then I start thinking about work or thinking about other life stresses, and I can't get back to sleep. And so when that happens, I really like that Headspace has an app part that will actually help you get back to sleep. Even there's a cost, it's a fraction of the cost of me having a breakdown and not being able to get my work done or living a life fulfilled on any given day. So I feel like it's worth the expense to at least try and use something to help get me on track until I can talk to a person in person. I hope you guys enjoyed season 3 and all the episodes so far. There is lots more thought-provoking shows to come. If you liked our shows, don't forget to subscribe through your favorite podcast platform or through our YouTube channel. If you'd like to take advantage of my free Fridays coaching sessions, which I mentioned in the last episode, you can head over to my website and book a call directly. It's www.greenchameleoncollective.com/free Fridays. There's an immediate link to my calendar. It'll show you available times. And if you can't find a time that works for you or you have a more urgent need, my email's there too, Nikki@the-Nikki-Green. I am here to help. I'll keep the appointments open through the end of the school semester to try to help as many people as I can through this tough transition and hopefully into a world in person. But thank you all for your time to listen. I can't wait to chat with you next time. More fun episodes to come. Bye, everyone.